Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Patched.
Welcome back.
Yes, and today we're going to be reviewing the HK Gaming MIRA M. So we reviewed the MIRA S, which is the small version, and this is the MIRA M, so which is the medium version.
I guess right? Average size. I feel like.
Yeah, average size. And
large, like a large would be weird because this feels like that's perfect.
Exactly.
Right? As far as like size goes.
This mouse is going for $50, a very good price. You know, it rivals basically like the glorious Model O. So if you guys do want to get it, we'll leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the shape, and this shape is incredible.
It reminds me of the Hottie.
Yes.
It reminds me of the G Pro Wireless. You've got a very, very centered arch on there, and it's just, I don't know, it's like a tried and true shape. It's definitely not as low profile as some other mice that you see. Like, it's not as low profile as the Model O, which is a very, very small arch.
And also like the FK2 or the Viper Ultimate, which is also a very low arch. This is pretty high, and it makes it super comfortable to palm grip, you know? And I have a medium-sized hand, and when I put my hand on the mouse, it pretty much goes all the way to the end. So if you have a large size hand and you do palm grip, then just watch out for that. But also fingertipping for me was not a problem at all. It is slightly narrow. Like I use the Viper Ultimate and that's a little bit wider. So my hand when I use the Viper Ultimate is a little bit wider out. But then when I use this, and also it kind of reminds me of the FK2 as to how like kind of narrow it is. It just feels very comfortable with the fingertip grip, and then when you're not gaming, when you're just browsing the web or just using your computer, you can just palm grip and it feels phenomenal.
Yeah, it's super comfortable to palm, and this is something we don't see a lot. They actually come with, they came with rubber grips for them. So you got two on each side, or one on each side rather, and then one on each of the mouse buttons, the left and the right. Which were kind of weird to apply, just awkward. I've never done it before. But once they're on there, they stick well. The adhesive's nice. I actually really like it. Only thing I would really note with putting side grips on any mouse, really, these are slightly thicker. So it may cause a little bit of difficulty hitting those side buttons or your DPI button if that's something you use often. I don't know. Some people are rebuying that.
Wasn't a huge fan of it. I like to just not have it on, but you know, whatever. But the shape is incredible. If you've ever used the Hottie or the Haiti or the G Pro Wireless, you will definitely like this mouse shape. Alright, moving on to the buttons. The mouse 1 and 2 clicks are pretty damn nice. It feels very similar to the Model O, I would say. You know,
it feels like just slightly more tactile.
Yeah, just a little bit. And they're Omron switches, and they're rated for 50 million clicks. The side buttons are also really nice. It is a ambidextrous shape, but they only have side buttons on the left side, so it's not true ambi, right? The side buttons, they are kind of raised up, so you kind of have to like move your thumb to press the buttons, but that's fine if you don't want to accidentally press them. And they're very tactile. There is a little bit of pre-travel, but not too much. But you know, I really like the side buttons as well.
Yeah, I think the side buttons prove with the pre-travel and everything, and how sort of they're small. They're like the G Pro Wireless, just only I feel like a little bit longer than the side buttons on the G Pro Wireless. It's going to prove that you're going to be a little bit more precise when you're clicking that. You're really not going to make any accidental clicks there, or it would be very hard to unless you got a really fat thumb.
And then as far as the scroll wheel goes, the scroll wheel is a little mushy. It's not very tactile. It reminds me a lot of the Model O, but the Model O is a little bit more smoother, or like not as tactile as the MIRA M. So not a huge fan. I like to have my scroll wheel very tactile, but if you like a smoother type of scroll wheel, then this is a great choice.
But it's RGB, so that fully makes up for it.
Yes, exactly.
And what I noticed, which was cool, is by default, the RGB that's on the scroll wheel actually tells you which DPI setting you're on.
Exactly.
For which profile. Just a cool little thing. It's just they say it's a paracord-like cable, which honestly, I don't have any issues with. It's super good. It's super lightweight. I didn't notice it at all when I'm gaming. But again, as always, we recommend a mouse bungee regardless, just because if there is a cable there, it can snag on something. So if you're really concerned with that, get a mouse bungee.
Alright, as far as the glides go, there are 4 glides. There's 2 up top and 2 on the bottom, and they're like very thin oval shapes. They're pure PTFE, and they're pretty damn smooth and pretty damn fast. So if you're looking for a very fast skate, this comes with great stock skates.
Absolutely.
And they are, actually, I would say they're around normal thickness. It's not super thin like I've seen in some other mice. So it should last you a good amount of time.
But if it doesn't, they got extras in the box, which is very nice. So comes with, I mean, for $50, you're getting a good mouse already. You've got grip tape should you want it on there, and then you've got extra skates, so that's pretty good value so far. So as far as the sensor goes, it's a Pixart PMW 3360 sensor, which is pretty much your standard. It's in the Model O, it's in the FK2, it's in most standard gaming mice. Feels good. It's very responsive. It's a good sensor. No issues on that end of the spectrum. No difference in like latency or anything like that I could feel while I was gaming.
And as far as the finish goes and the build quality and durability, the finish I really like. It reminds me a lot of like the Model O. The texture reminds me a lot of the Model O, but it's a little bit more grainy, a little bit more textured, which gives you a little bit more grip. And also another good thing about this texture is that it didn't really leave a lot of fingerprint marks, which is good. But if you don't want to deal with that at all, then just put the rubber like grip tape or whatever on it and you'll be fine, right? And as far as the buttons go, there is a little bit of mouse wobble, but yeah, tiny bit, but you only notice it if you really try to wobble the buttons, right? But then if you're actually playing and clicking, you don't really notice it at all. Definitely not as bad as the MM710 was. So it's just a little minor thing. You're really never gonna notice it.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes along with the build quality of this mouse. This is a very well-built mouse. I mean, regardless of the holes, you know, we've seen issues with quality control on a lot of other mice, but this one, I would say, is not one of them, honestly. If you shake it, there's no rattling outside of the scroll wheel, obviously, because that's the only really loose part. No rattling. It's a well-built mouse. There's no creaking or anything if you push the sidewalls in.
And of course, like we said, there is no RGB on this mouse besides on the scroll wheel, which I guess you can see the RGB on the scroll wheel. Like some mice that have it like on the back, your hand covers up. So I guess that's kind of nice, but I really don't care for it all too much. So
I would venture to say that the only reason HK Gaming did the RGB on the scroll wheel was just so they can have a DPI indicator. That wasn't just like you trying to move the mouse around and trying to figure out where it was, because a lot like Razer, for example, has been putting the DPI button on the bottom along with a little LED light to show where it is, or which setting you're on.
Yes.
Which is cool. But having the DPI button on the top, plus the light up there, it's helpful. So I would venture to say that's probably the main reason that they went with that. As far as the software, using HK Gaming's software, it's found on their website. It's very basic, very intuitive. I had no issues rebinding, because I always rebind these instead of mouse button like 4 and 5. I just do 1 and 2, like the numbers 1 and 2, because that's what I have most of my stuff bound to in my games, like first and second weapon slot, things like that. So no issues there. Software works very well. I removed all the DPI profiles and just rebound all that, so no issues there. So wrapping everything up with a MIRA M here. All in all, for $50, you're getting pretty good value. Like I said before, it comes with the grip tape on there and an extra set of PTFE skates on there.
I think that's great value, because the Model O is $50 and you don't get any of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love this shape. I love this mouse. Very comfortable, and I would say it's good for anyone. The only person I don't think could use this is like if you have a large hand and you use palm grip. That's it. Everyone else, if you palm grip, fingertip grip, this is a great shape. It's super lightweight. It says it's 66, 67 grams on my scale, but obviously that's because it has like the grips on it. On the box it says it's 62, 63 grams. So super lightweight, and I feel like it's a great mouse.
Yeah, because I feel like for $50 is what you're getting, right? This is the same shape as the G Pro Wireless, essentially. G Pro Wireless is $150. Obviously, you get the wireless aspect to that. And then you've got the G-Wolf's Hottie, which is also a similar design, but that one's running around $65, $70 right now. For the money, you're getting a lot.
Yes.
You're getting a lot, especially like with Glorious being $50. So if you're willing to part with the RGB for Glorious and you want possibly like a higher profile mouse, I think this is going to be a really, really good seller for a lot of people.
But anyways, that's our review. Again, if you guys want to get it, we'll leave a link in the description box. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you in the next one.